1 Samuel 17 is where we're going, and we're going to do this real quick. 1 Samuel 17. I'm going to preach this just a little bit. The louder you say amen, the faster I'll be out your way. And then I'm going to cast some devils out of some of you. Maybe prophesy, we'll see. But the room is filled with spiritual activity. Be here tonight for Enter In. God's got some things to say to you. How many of you are at 1 Samuel 17? How many of you not nowhere? Go to 1 Samuel 17 in your Bible. Verse 32 is where we're starting. 1 Samuel 17, verse 32. David said to Saul, "Let nobody lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him." And Saul replied, "You are not able to go against this Philistine and fight him. You are only a young man, and he's been a warrior since his youth." But David said to Saul, "Your servant has been keeping his father's sheep. And when a lion or a bear came and carried off a sheep from the flock, I went after it, struck it, and rescued the sheep from its mouth. And when it turned on me, I seized it by its hair, struck it, and I killed it. Your servant has killed both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them, because he has defied the armies of the living God. The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion," you better hear this, "and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." So Saul said to David, "Go, and the Lord be with you." Then Saul dressed David in his own tunic, and he put a coat of armor on him and a bronze helmet on his head. And David fastened on his sword over the tunic and tried walking around because he was not used to them. "I cannot go in these," he said to Saul, "because I'm not used to them." So he took them off. Father, help me to preach this in Jesus' name. Amen. Now, I know y'all got some freaky devils in here, and I don't want to arouse many of them. But look at somebody, hold him by the hand, and say, "Take it off." Why y'all lying? Being phony. You ain't just sanctified. It's 1 o'clock. You okay with saying take it off? Be honest. We just said it in the presence of the Lord. Nothing shows you what you're made of like a fight. When you are in a fight, you begin to realize things about you: vulnerability, strengths, weaknesses, uniquenesses. And when it comes to your future and your destiny, you are literally being anointed for a fight tailor-made for you. There is a fight you're going to have to fight that your mother's not going to understand, your daddy's not going to understand it, your friends are not going to understand it. Your support system will be there but not fully comprehend the fight you were born for. But you were born for a battle. Something is before you. And this doesn't always mean that there's going to be bloodshed. In most battles there are bloodshed. But you are somebody's escape route. Now basically what that means is that if you don't hurry up and become who God made you to be, then somebody won't have a way to escape. One of the reasons why I walk with the fear of the Lord with my life is because I know I am the escape route. See, what God is doing with many of you is not just making you an inspiration. That's easy. He's not just making you an encourager. That's common. What he's making you is a delivery path. In other words, there are people who suffer, who struggle, who are bound, who are tormented, who are confused, and they have resolved that this is life. But the appearance of an exit path gives hope and faith on what God is able to do. Say yes. Have you ever been in a spot in your life where you had just resolved to be defeated in an area, or to not expect in an area, or to think that there was no other way to live until a person who happened to be a possibility showed up in your life? Maybe you didn't realize that it was possible to start a company, or possible to go to school, and somebody with similar disadvantage and somebody with similar resistance shows up, and you cross paths with them, and their mere existence, their mere arrival to you means that something is possible. The good news is that's what God is anointing you to be. He doesn't just want you to be a model and an example. He literally wants your life to be a doorway to the freedom of somebody else. He wants your decisions, and he wants your behavior, and he wants your conversation to open up a possibility to somebody before you. Now, I got to go to this verse, but this is why I've got to admonish you. You never win for you. No battle that you have is personal. Even if you can't see how it's going to benefit people beyond you, there is no such thing as a private battle. Even your private battles are for public benefit. And the last thing you won behind closed doors, you are about to see somebody walk through your last victory. You missed that? You'll get it over Chipotle tomorrow. I said the last thing you won privately is about to be the entryway for somebody else to win. And if you don't want nobody else to win, you're not a worshiper. A worshiper wants other people to win. A worshiper will allow their lives to be the inroad to freedom. Imagine how long you suffered unnecessarily because of who was unwilling to fight. Imagine how long it took you to get where you are because you had to do it on your own without a door to walk through. Your life is a door. Elbow somebody who smells like corn chips, say your life is a door. Come on, tell them your life is a door. Come on, tell them your life is a door. Come on, encourage them. Your life is a door. Come on, tell them your life is a door. You are a door to your children. Many of you are going to be a door to your spouse or your future door. And you ought to live the type of life that when people enter into you, they are no longer who they used to be. I should not come in your life and be worse than I was before you. I should enter into your life and experience the God who set you free. And by virtue of the fact of relationship, I should enter into your history with God. In this next season of your life, Sherlandria, God is going to use you as a door. Not just a promoter or a manager, but people will literally walk through, not on, but through you to victory and to clarity and to peace. Lift your hands, say, make me a door. One of the things God was making David was a door. Had David chose to remain defeated, that would have come upon the nation. Now listen to me. Part of your problem is you still don't believe that there is the power to impact in you. This is why you make decisions on this level as if they're only going to impact you. But before time began, God wrote the story so uniquely that there's a whole audience relying on you to make it. I know you don't want to hear that because everybody around you is a hater and telling you what you can and what you ain't. But the people that are silent are the ones that need you. The devil knows how to distract you. He'll make the most vocal people come around you to talk more to discourage you out of making it. But you make it for ministry, and you make it for testimony, and you make it to break the curse. If you don't make it, there'll be other people that lay here and die. Ask me why. I'm talking to yourself. You are going to be people's proof that it will be worth it. Help me, hold it. I just need 10 of you. The rest of you can go home. I say people will look at you one day and say, my God, if you could do it for her, and if you could do it in him, and if you could change it for them, certainly I can have it. And what will happen is your success is going to contact faith in them, and they will undergo what they need to win. You have to make it. You have to. I'm talking to your snapple head. You have to make it. And you have to stop pretending like maybe you won't make it. You have to make it. You have to make it. Puda, you have to make it. The future is going to be unlocked as you make it. Here's the complexity to that. Sometimes when you're trying to make it, people that have not done what you desire to do will discourage you from trying. Have you ever been advised by somebody on how to build a healthy marriage who had never been married? Y'all gonna lie? Have you ever been coached in friendship by somebody who changes relationships every 2 weeks. BFF, BFFFF, BFFFFFFF. I mean, they just change it all the time. And we are in a hypocritical culture, aren't we? Everybody has opinions beyond their experience. And what they do is they like to try to give you information and give you know-how on how to do what they don't have the guts to do. But a part of why God allows that is to see how determined you'll be with contrary counsel. Nobody wanted to face the Philistine. He was big. He was skilled. And everybody was counting on or counting the excuses why he should not be confronted. David says, I'm going to do this. I'm going to confront him. Everybody's counseling him out of what God is saying to him concerning the future. Now, you don't know the grace on your life yet. This is starting to feel good. What that means is there are things that you are called to do that's going to look hard to other people. And you just don't have the sense enough. You know what I realize about me? The little 10% of crazy I do have, God gave it to me. And here's how I know he gave it to me. I needed to be able, pay attention because this is going to bless you, to have a realm of risk that stayed open in my life, because all great men and women are going to come to a place where they're going to take a risk that nobody else takes. You don't like that. You've been living your life in the safe zone. You've been living your life in middle ground. You've been living your life in the patterns of other people. But as you start asking God, Lord, who am I and what do you want out of me, you're going to be introduced to a realm called risk. People who are not risk takers are going to be scared of what you do. They're going to be nervous as you take risk. That's the good news. You know, the bad news is, at every level of influence, the risks get worse. There is no such thing as decreasing risks. The risk factors are worse in more money. Say yes. The risk factors are worse in a real relationship. Say yes. The risk factors are worse in deliverance than it is in contentment. When you in sin and trying to stay that way, ain't no risks. But when you make a decision to leave bondage, to leave wickedness, to consecrate yourself, all of a sudden, here comes the counsel of the carnal. Oh, be careful. You don't want to do too much, church, or be careful. Now listen, you didn't do too much sex. You didn't want to not do too much alcohol. Some of you freshly hungover right now. You didn't want to not do too much gossiping. We are only concerned about overdosing on destiny. But none of us are concerned about overdosing on the demonic. It's time for you to get future wasted. I'm working in here. It's time for you to get drunk on destiny. Say yes. David, because he was a worshiper, I feel my help through here. He was not afraid of risks. Many of you are scared to find out who you are because of the risk of getting it wrong. Now, this is why you need to become a worshiper first. Because to a worshiper, oh goodness, Nick, listen to me. A failure is not final. To a worshiper, failure is a pit stop. Why won't you help me? You are only going to stay a failure if you're not connected to the Father. But when you connected to the Father, failure is not final. It's a pit stop. It's a pit. Elbow somebody who's actually saying it's a pit stop. It's a pit stop. It's a pit. You can rest there, but you will not stay there. Worship has a way of getting you access to everything you need for the future. Look at somebody whose eye roams and tell them, I'm getting drunk on my future. Tell them that. There's a method to my madness. Look at somebody who's got a bad twitch and tell them, I'm getting drunk on my future. Now, I'm not going to, I got some more meat to get into, and some of you don't have to look that far back, But do you remember the last time you were what they call scummy drunk? Now, even in, I see your taste buds. Now, there is a place called, can we be real? This is 1 o'clock. Black people have a phrase that our other counterparts don't use, Dr. Ross. You don't know this. Or maybe you do. It's called tipsy. And tipsy is when you've had just enough where you can still walk. Good God, I feel God. You can still know who people are. You can still drive. Some of you even can go to work just a little tipsy, you know. You can get tipsy off a little wine. You can get a little tipsy off a little champagne. You can get just a little tipsy. But there's some of us who were born, appreciate your generational curses, my blood type is Hennessy. You understand what I'm talking about? So I never knew tipsy. By the time I was drinking so bad that I actually shut down my tipsy barometer. I'd never stopped at tipsy. There was a who are you? How did I get here? Where my clothes at? Drunk. My God. There was a drunk that needed a designated driver drunk. I don't trust myself through here, so I'm going to rely on somebody else to take the wheel. Now, you know what it is to be drunk in hell and for hell and drunk on love and all that with Beyonce, but you about to get ready to get drunk on the future and drunk on the purpose. You're going to look up and be seeing double. You're going to have a hangover on holiness. You're going to be up real late learning how to get close to God and wake up with your head spinning, throwing up curses and bondage. Say yes! I believe David was future drunk, because nobody in his right man would have walked up to a monster and said, I can take you. I can take you. I can take you. Here is where we take an interesting turn, and this is going to be one of the most important things you ever hear in your life. Even sometimes when your support system accepts what you say is your identity and agrees with where you're about to go, sometimes, even with good intentions, they give you bad advice. All bad advice is not malicious. Sometimes it's just ignorant. They are advising you ill because of what they don't know. I'm sorry. And because of what they don't see. What you're going to have to fight. Hear what the Spirit saith to you in this next season of your life and identity is the expectations of people around you. David was ready to fight. Everybody thought he was capable of fighting. But Saul was like, let me give you a little wisdom. Take my suit and put it on you. This is the type of weaponry you're going to need. After all, I fought Goliath before, not. I had a battle with him before, not. He had not experienced Goliath, and yet thought and assumed what David needed to fight him. Say, take it off. And so he put the armor on him, which caused an unfair expectation from the onlookers. Let me talk to you. One of the things that's in the way of your destiny is your mama's expectations. Look at somebody, say, your mama. One of the things that's working against you is your daddy's expectations. One of the things that's working against you is your college buddy's expectations. Oh, y'all don't want to be honest. I'm hitting a sensitive place, ain't I? This is why social media is so dangerous, because subconsciously you start making moves based upon the expectation of people. Here's what trips me out, who not even in your life no more. You're trying to prove to people who you gonna see at a 20-year reunion that you in your potential and making money. It is the wrong expectation. And if you carry their expectations into your war, you've already lost. Most of you are suffering from the expectations of people around you. Have you ever had a conversation with people who had wonderful ideas about who you were supposed to be by now? Have you ever had a conversation with a parent who told you, I didn't raise you this way? You're 37 years old and you still ain't got a man, and the pressure of those nagging antagonisms based upon unhealed stuff in them has got you in a panic now to hurry up and try to be something. You don't want to tell the truth, and hurry up and try to pretend and assume like you're somewhere. But here's where you get free. They don't have to be ready for what God is making you ready for. They don't even have to prepare for what God is preparing you for. And there's a way for people to misunderstand you and still love you. This place, Saul loved David. He ain't started hating him until he started winning. It took for that win to prove that there was something in him. But right now, he's just trying to give him weaponry for the wrong war. Can I tell you, one of the things God's going to make you do through deliverance in this season is retire old weapons, and retire ineffective weapons, and retire ineffective swords, and ineffective shields, and ineffective stratagem, because the battle is unprecedented. He was not able to deal with the giant under the weaponry of Saul. Now let me ask you this. Whose expectations are you wearing? Be honest, don't lie. Whose expectations do you wear? Your mom, your godmommy? My godmommy, she been there, but my godmommy, you're my godmommy. Whose expectations are you wearing? An invisible hater? I know exactly who y'all wearing the expectations of. All y'all know this person. I'm going to call their full name, and you're going to know it, Elder Bria. They. Y'all met they? You can't do that because I'm going to say, or you can't wear that because, or don't be putting all your biz out there because, why you go to that church over there? You know, your life, your money, your energy, your decisions are being controlled by some monstrosity called they. And you ain't even seen them in a long time. Greatest thing you could do for yourself is shed expectations. Listen, you don't have to be what they want. Many of you are not going to get the profundity of that for another month. But if you let that really hit you, you liberate yourself to find out what else is in you. Being what they want is going to make you lose the war. One of the greatest problems in marriage is that we grow up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, developing a woman in our brain. If you're a girl and you got a good daddy, you start making a junior your daddy in your head. And all of the qualities you see in your father, you start magically putting them in a man who you ain't met yet. Then you get dating age, and you start exploring women and men and relationships, and there's conflict. You got difficulty committing or difficulty saying yes, and the real problem is you're trying to date and you're not single. You're trying to court and you are very committed. The trick comes in is because who you dating and what you committed to ain't a person. You have been married longer to the man in your head. Oh, y'all don't want. And you've been dating the girl in your brain much longer than this person right here. So because you got this ancient, holy, you call it standards, but that's not true, because what it really is a list, okay? You got this genie list hooking you up with people, and you're measuring a real person and a real man against somebody you are already in love with. I know you don't like it, but you have carried into this an expectation from your past. Here's why that's most dangerous. You not whole. You ain't healed. Most of you ain't sane. So in that level of life, you done come up with this idea of what you need, and you're not considering your restoration in the equation.
See, you're not going to need the man you think you need when you become a whole woman. And you're not going to need the type of woman you think you need when you become a restored man. You think you need what you need because you're insecure. Broken men don't want a woman with an opinion. Because dating a dummy makes me feel like a better leader. If you don't have any, oh, I'm hitting a vein today. If you don't have an opinion, then it makes it look like all my decisions are good. So I need a master blonde who's going to follow me anywhere I go. A whole man likes a woman to think. Even if I let her know I run this, I still want to know what you think about it. Oh, you know what? Even though I'm going to make the decision, I appreciate the rich wisdom God has put in you to be my helper. Broken women don't want to protect her. They want something to show people off with. So this guy have all kind of criminal records, teardrops under his eye, the people he didn't kill. But because he'd been in the pen, he got abs. And you just want to be able to settle and reduce your whole life because you got somebody to hold your arms with so your mama can stop questioning you. Or so you can keep up with your siblings. It's the truth. See, people date in brokenness. They try to marry in brokenness. And because we have a broken society, broken don't know that people broken. So they get together, waste each other time for years, and then be like, it ain't working. Yeah. Because both of y'all handicapped emotionally. You have not recovered from trauma, from stress. You got resentment. You want me to be your daddy. And I'm not telling you what to call your husband in the bedroom, but sometimes that stuff gets a little perverted. Once it go from big daddy to father, we got an issue right here. Oh, y'all don't want to have. Why y'all looking at me like that? Some of you have emotional needs that you're trying to project on another person because of the expectations of people around you. Who gave you your academic deadlines? Where did that come from? Who gave you your marital? You've been like, by the age I'm 37, I'm going to retire. Now, while that's a good desire, it shouldn't be trustable unless you're the one that came up with it. But if other people are imposing their ideas and putting their armor on you, you'll never find out how God made you to fight. David looked at Saul and said, with all due respect, I have to take this off. Say, take it off. I have to take off your ideas about how to win this. I have to take about another, you know what? You people having problems with your children. Don't try to recycle the wisdom of everybody around you with a troubled teen. The problem is, even if the principles work, your kid is different. So even though they're like, girl, I tell you what, I broke N-I-G-G-A ain't gonna stay in my house. When you become 17, I kick you out. Well, that may have worked for your kid, and that's why he's going to continue to be a social terrorist. I want to love mine a little more. Oh, Lord, what? When you start messing with people's parenting strategies, they get defensive. But this is exactly why we got a whole generation of derelicts, is because we experiment on the first ones, don't get it right until the baby, and then refuse to admit we got it wrong at all. Kick them out. Then they'll be on the streets. Well, they'll learn. That ain't hard love. That's black people dysfunction. Well, my mama did it to me. Look at you. That's exactly why you're trying to impart that same unresolved pain, because you were parented improperly, and now you're trying to continue the cycle. Take that stuff off. What kind of pressures are you under for the people around you? When David took it off, he could move quicker. He's like, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to deal with this how God shaped me. And I'm going to tell you why this is important. Many of us are under these expectations subconsciously. Especially those of you who have never had anybody be proud of you. If you've never known anybody to celebrate or acknowledge how far you've gone in life, then you create and you imagine their expectations and you put their armor on willingly. and you try to fight to make them proud. There are people around the world who are never, ever going to hear from anybody, "I'm proud of you." It's a devastating truth. But some people are going to say, "I'm proud of you." That's great. Are you going to live the rest of your life in need of that? Or are you going to focus on the future and fight what you need to fight? Here's what happens next. We're done. After he took it off, he was sized up by the giant. The giant looked at him like this here. "You think I'm a play toy? That you sent some boy up on me?" When you take off the wrong armor, your adversary is going to make you try to feel small because of what you're not, because of what you don't know, because of how you were not prepared. Now, if you're going to lie and act like you are very prepared for your future, then I'm talking to the person next to you who is being honest, like, "I'm not exactly clear on what all is out there, so I'm preparing now to the best of my ability. I don't know where I'm going to end up. I'm just trusting the Lord and walking with God until he shows me how to end up." The Philistine told him, "I've been fighting, karate chopping, I know taekwondo, I take MMA, I'm going to kill you. I've been practicing since a boy." David said this, "My security is not in my armor. I'm not protected by people's expectations. I don't get security in there." What's your security? The other day, come on, look at somebody, say, "The other day." Come on, tell them, "The other day." Now, here is why this is important. Because of what God did for you the other day, it should give you courage for what he wants you to do today. Come on, look at somebody, say, "The other day." Now, the other day may be different from today, but just because it happened the other day should give you security on what God wants to do with you today. And there's a lot of you who don't know what to do today because you forgot about what he did the other day. Don't you ever again forget what he did yesterday. I know you don't want to live there no more. I know you hate that place, but what God did for you the other day ought to stir you up about what he's about to do for you today. If you don't remember yesterday, today is going to wear you out. You're going to be intimidated, overwhelmed, vexed, frustrated. But look at somebody, say, "The other day, the other day." Come on, I remember the other day. Don't come on, act like you had another day. Now, you may not have all the money you want, but you are not who you were the other day. You may not be as far along in your career as you want, but you ain't where you were the other day. Your family may still have challenges today, but it ain't how it was the other day. And when you can unlock the riches of yesterday, you can pull on the power for today. The other day, your servant was confronted with a lion, a bear, and I dealt with the lion, and I dealt with the bear with my hands. No armor, nobody else's expectation. With my identity, I fought them. And you will be just like them. See, what you've gone through in life has been practice for who you're supposed to be. This is why it is so important. I spend so much time teaching people, come from under the expectations of people around you. It's not always evil. Some people are looking at you like, "Oh, when you was a boy, I knew you was going to be a surgeon." Now look at you, you are a preacher. And they've registered for hell already. So they have no conviction or appreciation for what it takes to become a messenger with splinters in his mouth, who's kissed the cross to the extent that they could cry out until people made a decision. I wish this was as easy as a scalpel. I'm in charge of people's soul. You can grow another limb if I cut it, but you can't grow another soul. But you got a hellish family member reducing your journey. I know I'm in the room. Disrespecting what the work you put in to become this secure. And the reason this is important is because many of us have people that have seen for years what we're just starting to see in ourselves. Everybody does not have the same level of security in their potential, but it is irresponsible of an onlooker to be mad at you about what you can't see in you. That's not an issue of frustration. That's an issue of patience. When people around you can't see what you see, you have to work to help them to see it. frustrated with other people's deliverances processes. By now, you done walked away from alcohol and brownies. Now you got this here cigarette. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. You start avoiding them, not wanting to come around them because they look at you through that expectation. It's unnecessary pressure. You can't move that way. Take that stuff off. You'll be much freer to fight. Oh, you're still in school, huh? And these are from people who many of them dropped out at the 7th grade. And they'll tell you, I raised you better than that. No, you didn't. You ain't got an degree on your wall. Don't tell me nothing about how to get mine. Say and. You got an degree on your wall. Your problem is you're not focused. You know, TV. Well, only reason you're mad about that because you can't afford one yet. So don't try to advise me through your defeat. Some people feel good about being able to criticize the accomplished. Gives them a realm of security to be able to tell you something about something they've never saw and can't do.